The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right, gang, welcome. Good to see everybody. Let's do a little screen sharing. Make sure that you guys can see all the good stuff that's going on there. So you should be looking at your strategic Do This Now blueprint for 2018. The awesome and amazing Teresa French is here. Good to be with you
Hello.
again.
Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
Yeah, this is it. And if you want to do a little social media love before we get started, we got 2.5 minutes here. Pop onto Twitter, pop onto Facebook, pop onto LinkedIn. Invite your best friends in here. It's blueprint18.com. Blueprint18.com. We'll get all the last minute cat herding people in here, and you can share the love, and we appreciate that because we're trying to eliminate speaker struggle as an epidemic. Speaker, coach, consultant. We're here to create speaker, consultant, and expert wealth. So if there's some speakers and consultants and experts who could use some more wealth, and you know them, and you want to ping them or hit them on Facebook, or just put this on your Facebook profile, share it on Twitter, share it on Google+, LinkedIn, whatever you have going on. I used to say when Facebook was new, I used to say, yeah, you should go out to these social media sites like MyFace and Spacebook. And you can't really say that these days. You can't say anything these days. So just be careful out there, kids. Just share this in a clean, respectful way. It's blueprint18.com. And I want to hear from folks. Can you hear and see everything okay? Are the slides coming across? Can you hear my silly ranting okay? Is this all audio visual check? Just type in yes in the question box if this is coming across loud and clear for you.
Carol says, yes, everything is good. Kelsey says, yes. Michael, yes. Yep. Hey, Karen. Claude says, yes. Hey, Claude. Cindy says, yes. Bradley, yes. Alyssa, all cool.
This is fantastic. We got current clients, we got past clients, we got future clients, we got everybody. So here's how Teresa and I look at the universe. You're either a past client, or you're a current client, or you're a future client. There's nothing else. There's nothing else. That's how we look at the world.
I love it.
We're going to help you. We're going to serve you at some point, no matter what. Whether you think you want it or need it or not, we're going to help you out. We're going to help you out. All right, so I've got the top of the hour here. We've got so much action-packed excitement. We're going to start right here, right now. So let me get all my little buttons and doodads and everything. Morgan took care of it already. Look at this. The recording is on. Everything is on.
You.
This is fantastic. I should just go on vacation. I mean, I'm no longer needed around here. This is fantastic. All right. Well, in all seriousness, welcome. You are in the right place. We are talking about your strategic Do This Now blueprint for 2018 for speakers, consultants, experts, coaches, trainers, facilitators. I'm here. Teresa's here. Let's make this happen. The first thing I would encourage you to do, having given hundreds and hundreds of webinars and having sat through hundreds and hundreds of webinars, give yourself the gift of attention. Close your door, turn off your phone, get off email, get off Facebook, get off Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, whatever you have going on in the background, because you've already shared Blueprint 18, and we thank you in advance for sharing the love and maybe helping out some folks that are in your circle. But this is you time. This is time for you to turn off the noise, turn off the crazy, and focus 100% on the speaking-driven business that you want to build and you want to create, starting right now in 2018 and beyond. So give yourself the favor of undivided attention as we go through some of this training material. So let's make sure you're in the right spot. Who this is for? This is for anyone who sells their expertise, knowledge, or wisdom. What that means is speakers, consultants, trainers, coaches, experts, authors, course creators, information marketers. In other words, the people that I just mentioned that I call speaking-driven professionals. In other words, if you use your knowledge to solve a major business problem, this is for you. So let's see who's in the room. Let's do a quick poll right here, right now. Are you primarily a speaker, a consultant, a coach, or a trainer? And let me explain what I mean by the word primarily. I'm going to ask you to pop one of these four words into the question box. Do you make most of your money in one of these 4 modes. In other words, you might be a speaker who also does consulting and coaching, but 70% of your revenue comes from speaking. So financially looking at it, you're primarily a speaker. We could flip this all the other ways too. You're a consultant and you do some training and some speaking, but the lion's share of your revenue comes from consulting. So you'd be primarily a consultant looking at a 100% slice of your revenue pie. The majority of that 100%, 51% or more, comes from one of these 4 things. So who's in the room? Who are the speakers? Who are primarily the consultants? Who are primarily the coaches? Who are primarily the trainers? And Teresa, what do we got here in the house?
Well, Carol, Michael, Aurora, Jazz, Michael, Mariah, they're all consultants.
Great.
And we've got Kelsey as a coach, Faith as a coach, Janet's a trainer. Let's see here. We've got Lynn as a trainer.
Great.
Charles and Carter, both consultants. Stuart, Paula, trainers. Wendy is a consultant. Hey, Wendy. Michelle says planning on primarily being a book coach and speaking. Let's see, Mike and Charmaine are trainers. We got a nice mixture of everybody here today.
Yeah, no, fantastic. Love that. Really,
Terry,
really.
notice your speakers.
So let us continue with that frame in mind. And again, we might be able to increase your other revenue streams as well, but we're really focused on let's get you that. And by the way, I consider all of these speaking driven revenue. So speakers obviously have a speaking driven revenue business, but you know what? So do consultants, and so do coaches, and so do trainers. Because if you've got something to say or something to sell around your intellectual capital, you are a speaking driven professional, and that speaking driven business consists of all of these things. Now, here comes the tough love. Here comes the tough love. The big question, I want you to be brutally honest, because honesty, radical honesty, is the beginning of radical improvement. Are you 100% happy with your 2017 results? And we don't need the story. We don't need the explanation, just a yes or no answer. And when I mean results, I mean the quality and quantity of your leads, the quality and quantity of your clients, and the quality and the quantity of your revenue. The other way that I ask our clients this question, and that Teresa asks this question, is if 2018 looked exactly like 2017, financially and every other way, would you be happy? Would you be happy if 2018 was a carbon copy clone of 2017? Or do you think there's something that you could do better, something that you could do bigger, some bigger level of revenue, some bigger level of success? And again, be brutally honest, and let's see who's happy and wants to get happier, and who is not happy and wants to see some major improvement.
You know what's funny, David? Before you had even answered the question, we have a really large portion of our viewers and our people today saying absolutely not, no, 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 exclamation point. There's some passion in this room, I'm telling you.
I like give me a gun. Give me a gun has to be an award-winning answer for this one. Again, we're not going to name names. We'll keep this one confidential, but I feel you on give me a gun. And early in my career, and even mid-career, when I had some crazy ups and downs and roller coasters, made all kinds of strategic mistakes, and today is all about not making strategic mistakes in your business and not making tactical mistakes. I had those years where it was give me a gun. I had those years. Luckily, I was only part kidding, but man, it was bad and it was dark and it was not fun. All right, now, let me ask you a higher level question, right? Yes, no, happy, not happy, we got that. Knowing your business, knowing where you are and who you are, what do you think is the number one improvement that you would like to make for 2018 and beyond? Because if you write that down, pop that in the question box, we are going to be able to tailor and customize some of our discussion today on this webinar around those exact issues. And if we're not going to address it in the course of the teaching, we'll address it in our Q&A that's coming up at the end, big massive Q&A, to make sure everyone leaves here with a strategic kind of reboot and that you're heading in the right direction. But what's the number one improvement that you'd like to make, knowing who you are, knowing your business, knowing your foibles and weaknesses and patterns? What's the number one improvement that you'd like to make in you and in your business for 2018 and beyond? What do you think that is for you personally? And I love some of these, right? Close the deal, higher fee paying clients, more revenue, clarity and process driven decisions, LinkedIn marketing and asking for help to get clients. Man, so powerful. Polish content and my marketing, visibility, more prospects, more valid prospects in the pipeline, qualifying my leads better, speaking on a national level, be a better speaker, get freaking serious about making big money. I love that one.
Yeah, I love focus on high paying clients and not distracted with the usual. I love that one.
Yes. Amen to all of the above. Better outreach, expand my coaching, more consistent effort. So you guys are in the right spot. I'm not going to brag, but you're in the right spot. If I'm bragging on anything, I'm bragging on you guys because you signed up for the right webinar. You signed up for the right masterclass. So, all right, strap in. Here we go. Let's see if we can solve this for you. Game plan for today, very quickly. Right away, this was like 1/3 of the questions. How to get more clients, how to get more gigs, how to make more profit. Removing some obstacles of why prospects are not hiring you right now. How to avoid sales landmines. And we're going to talk about fees, charging and getting your worth. We're going to talk about increasing your reach and revenue. Someone said visibility. Someone said increasing my reach. Someone said more leads. So same flavor of that. And then next steps to help you make it happen. And like I said, massive Q&A. Teresa and I will stay here until we outnumber you. So keys to getting more clients. We're just going to jump right in. Having a systematic approach. Oh my goodness. And we're going to talk about the 7-step system that Teresa and I use in our coaching and mentoring with all of our clients. And you're welcome to beg, borrow, steal, all of that. But having a system as opposed to random tactics, throwing spaghetti against the wall. If you do anything in your speaking-driven business in 2018, it's going to be about install some systematic consistency, install some process, install some boundaries and filters that you need so that you get to work with awesome clients at the right fee for the right reasons. And don't get sucked back into tacticitis. We'll talk about that later. Next one is have multiple investable opportunities. Like I said, you might be primarily a speaker. And if you're an awesome speaker, there's awesome speakers on this webinar. I'm saying hi to you guys. I know your names, and you know that I know that you're awesome. Have a back end. Have multiple investable opportunities. So it's not just, hey, can you come do it again? It's, oh my God, that was awesome. What's next? How do we go deeper? How do we go further? How can we bring you into our company? How do we bring you into our hospital? How do we bring you into our department? How can we expand and accelerate what you shared in that 60 to 90 minute keynote so that we start getting real results? Having multiple investable opportunities. If you have one, think about a second one. If you have two, think about a third one. Think about what's in alignment, what's easy, effortless, enjoyable for you. What could you turn the tap on your revenue very easily with what you have, where you are right now, and what you love to do, but maybe you haven't monetized it yet. Number 3, and we're going to build out this model for you on today's masterclass. I want you to start firing on all cylinders. I want you to have great content. I want you to have great marketing. I want you to have a great sales system and sales process. I want you to have great lead flow. I want you to have great outreach. I want you to have a full calendar. That's what I mean by firing on all cylinders. People who do a great job with marketing and then can't sell their way out of a paper bag, that is sad. People that do a great job at marketing, great job of selling, they go in and their program sucks, that's bad. Any one of these columns or pillars, if you will, if think about a 6-cylinder engine and one cylinder is broken, you're not going anywhere. The car's busted. It's over. It's over. Also, having more impact. The more that you have multiple investable opportunities, more ways for people to buy you, more ways for you to help them, more ways for you to transfer the competencies and the capabilities, the better. Then, once you have that going, you're in a position to accelerate your marketing, accelerate your leverage. Look at things like licensing, look at things like sponsorship, look at things like taking your program online, expand it, scale it, leverage it, build on it. But until you have the basic foundation in place, there's nothing to market. There's nothing to leverage. There's nothing to scale. There's nothing to expand. So these 5 strategic keys, I mean, I guess you could leave right now if you wanted to. We have a whole lot more stuff to share with you, but these 5 things will dramatically revolutionize your business in 2018 and beyond. You know, I'll tell you, Teresa, I hate these webinars where, you know, there's like 45 minutes of preamble and then like around minute 53, they give you some crumbs. You could literally leave right now. Again, please don't get me wrong. I don't want you to leave right now. But this conversation, if you and I were sitting down and having coffee, not me and Teresa, but me and you guys, I would say, look at these 5 things for 2018. These are the 5 biggest needle movers in your business. So we're eating dessert first. And the good news is there's no broccoli coming up.
I like broccoli though.
Yeah, you know, I started to like broccoli and then, you know, it grows on you. I think I started liking broccoli when I was about 40. When I was 40 years old is when broccoli started to be sexy again.
I love it.
Yeah, from like age 7 to 40, I wasn't a broccoli guy. That's just...
Oh, Ski doesn't like broccoli either.
Well, I think we have to have a broccoli seminar. I think we got to kind of eat healthy, broccoli, brownies, bourbon, fruitcake. We're going to cover all the bases.
Healthy body, healthy business.
I love it. All right, so the best news of all of this is you can get going on this right now. We're going to dig into all of this and a whole lot more. But I just wanted to give you some value right up front so you have some traction. If you have to run, hey, okay, it's 15 minutes in, you're out, you got what you needed, God bless you. Let's talk about the 3 biggest fears, blocks, and gaps why this hasn't happened for you yet. And this, again, a little interactive part of the program. And we hear this a lot. Teresa and I, when we're talking to prospects, we're talking to our clients, we're leading our mentoring sessions, can't find enough good clients. Can't find enough good clients. That's big problem number 1, big fear number 1. Number 2, my prospects won't pay premium fees. I'm stuck at $1,000. I'm stuck at $3,000. I'm stuck at $4,000. They won't pay more. I hear about these $7,500 speakers. I hear about these $12,000, $15,000, $18,000 speakers like the kind that we work with. But it's like a magic unicorn. It's like a mythical rainbow unicorn. That must not really exist. That must not be the reality because my prospects won't pay premium fees. Number 3, and again, you know, we're all adults here. How many times have you said this to yourself? Man, I suck at selling. And as soon as Newman says, have more investable opportunities, like I'm speaking and training, I want to add coaching. I'm coaching and speaking, I want to add training. Isn't this just another thing that I'm going to have a really hard time selling? Isn't this just another uphill battle? So out of those 3, let's review what they are. Which one is your best friend? Is it number 1, number 2, or number 3? Number 1, can't get enough good clients. And people already said this in the chat window, right? More leads, more visibility, more prospects, more pipeline. Is that really your problem? Is that, you know, number 1, or can't find enough good clients? Number 2, the fear that if you raise your fees to what you need them to be, no one's going to pay those fees. So fear about fees. And number 3, my favorite, I used to be a victim of this for the first 3-4 years of my business. I suck at selling. I suck at sales. I hate sales. Even if I build up this business, isn't this just more stuff that I'm going to have to sell and it's not going to work and it's going to be painful and difficult? And, you know, what was the get me a gun? Was it get me a gun? Get me a gun, right? It's like, oh my God, I got more crap to sell. I can't sell the crap I'm selling now. And Newman's saying have more investable opportunities. So which one of these is it? 1, 2, 3, Teresa, any patterns from our folks?
We got a lot of 3s. I suck at sales, selling. Number 3 I have down, afraid of number 2, Terry says. Hart says 4. I'm not sure what 4 is. Charles Chandler says
4 is like all of the above.
Yeah. So Charles and Michael both number 1. Number 3, but mainly number 1. Work hard on all 3.
Yep.
Pipeline's a new option.
Yep. That's really finding good clients. That's kind of good clients pipeline is how
number
I categorize
2.
that. Yeah.
Got a couple number 2s in there.
I'm glad that it's not just me. I'm glad that it's not just me in my early years trying to bang around the universe, figure all this out, make all the crazy mistakes, fall into all the manhole covers. These are very common. These are very common, and these are the exact kinds of problems that Teresa and I work on every day with our clients. So let's talk about mindset, because mindset is so vitally important. I want to talk about some myths and some truths. Myth busting number one: sales is hard. Truth number one: sales is easy with a process. If you stop winging it, stop guessing, stop hoping, stop throwing spaghetti, and you have a trusted advisor, high touch, high relationship sales process, I'm going to blow your doors off right now, gang. Sales can actually be fun. Sales can actually be fun. When Teresa and I are in sales mode, and I want to share this with you because I want you to transfer this to your sales conversations, we are asking only two questions when we talk to a coaching client, a mentoring client, a speaking prospect. Can we help this person, and do we want to? Now, who's empowered when you have that frame around the sales conversation, where you're going into every sales conversation asking, number one, can I help this prospect? And number two, do I want to? Do they seem serious? Do they seem like they have some urgency? Do they have the right kind of problem that I solve? Do they have the right budget? Are they committed? Are they decisive? Are they action takers? Teresa, what else about this mindset around sales is easy?
You know, I think when you are in on the hunt for the problem that you can help solve, and you put yourself in a place of, I want to help and serve this person, I think it alleviates that stress of having to pitch and sell. And that is what makes it fun, because everybody, I think, on this call would agree that we have a lot of fun when we can help other people. That's why we do what we do as consultant and coaches and speakers. And so if we turn our sales process into a process of really helping and getting to the nitty gritty of the real problem that we can bring some illumination and insight to, then that process is really more of a discovery than it is a selling process.
Oh my gosh, exactly right. And it's about illuminating the path so that they can help themselves. And
That's
sometimes
right.
helping themselves is about hiring you as a consultant. Sometimes helping themselves is hiring you as a coach. Sometimes helping themselves is about hiring you as their next keynote speaker or facilitator or workshop or seminar person. But we're in the buying enablement business. We're not in the sales business, right? We're in the filter and sort business. We're not in the push and sell and pitch and strive business. So even that strategic mindset shift for you guys, that is so profound that it takes the yuckiness out of sales. And of course, if there's no yuckiness, you're more likely to do it. You're more likely to enjoy it. You're more likely to repeat it. And you're more likely to get more checks in the door. And that's what Teresa and I really want for you. So myth busting number two: my clients won't pay premium fees. Is it a myth? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Here's the radical truth, guys. You need to get better clients. You need to get better clients. And we're going to talk about this later, about your active 20, about how to go about kind of qualifying and disqualifying people. But you're right, because you will never transform a Walmart shopper into a Nordstrom's customer. Never.
Truth bomb.
What you need to do is go out and find your Nordstrom's customers. Go out and find your Nordstrom's customers, because they're prepared and they're expecting to pay Nordstrom's fees. They're prepared to pay Nordstrom prices, not Walmart prices. And you've been looking for love in all the wrong places, my friends, if you're having this problem. Myth busting number three: I'm not good at marketing. Well, of course you're not. You're not good at the monkey work. You're not good at the marketing monkey work that every other moron's telling you to do. Oh yeah, batch and blast cold calling. Do 100 dials a day. No, send out postcards. No, send out big folders and glossy packets and have that thud on someone's desk. No, and no. So what if you chose marketing activities that were triple E? Easy, effortless, and enjoyable. Because those are the ones that you'll actually implement. So you have to rethink your entire marketing mix. Stop doing stuff you hate and that you find burdensome and tiresome, and start doing things that are actually fun. Here's another one: I hate asking for money. I hate asking for money. Oh, the money part of the conversation, hate it. Truth number 4, if you're talking to the right prospects for the right reasons with the right language, the money part of the sales conversation becomes your favorite part. When I'm talking to clients and prospects, when Teresa and I are talking to clients and prospects, we love this part. And I'll tell you why. It's not because we love the money. We do love the money. The money part is the passport to them getting the result. And when we get to stamp that passport and say, congratulations, welcome aboard, we are about to go on this fantastic, amazing journey, I love stamping passports. Now, you're not going to go on the trip unless you buy the ticket. I don't know what travel agent you guys use, but I don't go anywhere if I don't buy the ticket. When you buy the ticket, you show up at the airport, there's a transaction that happens called stamping the passport. I love the sound of that. I love the smell of that. I love everything around that, not for what it is, but for what it signifies the beginning of. What it signifies, the beginning of the journey, the great adventure, the fun we're going to have, the money we're going to make, all of those things. Now, you can tell in my voice, I hope, my energy and enthusiasm around this part of the sales conversation. Imagine if you had the same mindset, the same framework I just gave you, that you're helping your clients embark on the most amazing, incredible, value-rich journey of their professional life, and all you have to do, the tactical, technical part of that, is stamping the passport. Wouldn't you love the money part of the conversation? Wouldn't you love going back here? Wouldn't you love the money part of the conversation if you knew it was the beginning of the transformation and the results that they signed up for, that they desperately want and need and hold dear to their future success? I love the money part of the conversation. Teresa, back me up on this. Give me an amen. Give me something.
Amen, brother. Amen. Up in here.
all up in here.
All up in here.
That's it. All right. So number 1 key to results is all these mindset shifts. Again, you guys could leave now. We don't want you to leave now, but you could leave now. And those mindset shifts that I just shared would radically transform your strategy for 2018. The old mindset needs to go. The old mindset needs to go. It's been holding you back. It's been keeping you playing small. It's been keeping you small potatoes. It's been keeping you with smaller fees. And when I say smaller fees, we work with speakers who are making $18,000. But they should be making $25,000. We work with speakers who are making $10,000, but they should be making $15,000. We work with folks who are making $7,500 and they should be making $12,500. So I'm not talking about small in an absolute sense. I'm talking about smaller than you deserve. I'm talking about smaller than your credibility would indicate, smaller than the results that you create for your clients and audiences and coaching clients and consulting clients and speaking audiences, all of these things. So I'm not talking about you're playing small. I'm talking about you're playing smaller than you should. Very important difference. Because we've got, all kinds of alpha dogs and, like I said, $15,000, $18,000, $20,000 speakers in our program right now. And guess what? We got to fix their mindset too. We got to fix their self-esteem. We got to fix their sales conversation. We got to fix all these things. And we're doing it. So are you playing too small? Is this mindset keeping you in small potatoes land? I hope it's not. I hope after today it doesn't. So I totally get it. I wrestled with all of these. I started at 0, made every mistake in the book. None of what we're sharing today is about theory or maybes or guessing. This is exactly what Teresa and I coach and mentor and do every single day with over 500 speakers and consultants and coaches and experts that have come through our program. This is exactly how I've hit multiple 6 figures per year, each and every year since 2009, having a hybrid speaking, coaching, and training business. So none of this is theory. None of this is guesswork. This is proven stone cold strategy. So let's talk about some facts. This is my facts of life face. This is when we're having the birds and the bees conversation. I hate to tell you, I gotta tell you, here's some facts. Why you're not getting hired right now. It's because you're selling inputs and approaches. You're selling a speech. No one wants to buy a speech. You're selling a consulting program. Nobody wants your consulting. Nobody wants your coaching. Nobody wants your training. Or worst of all, you're trading dollars for hours and you're literally selling your time. If you're doing any of these things, you're competing on commodities. Nobody wants a speech. Nobody wants consulting, coaching, training, or an hour or 2 hours or 10 hours or 10 days of your time. Those are commodities. If that's the substance of your sales conversation, here's what prospects will say. And I want to do a reality check on this. I want to hear from our folks. Have you heard any of the following? Well, yeah, I have to think about it. Yeah, you know, boy, that sounds great, but I really can't afford that right now. So you have Charmaine, Faith, Lynn, you know, Hazel, Melinda, Cindy. Yeah, maybe we'll do this next year. Yeah, Mariah, Susan, Michael, Charles, Hart. We're going a different direction. You know, we're not. Oh my God, right? Why? You're selling a speech. You're selling an input. You're not selling an outcome. I have to think about it. Can't afford it. Sounds great. Not for us. Maybe next year. You know, thanks, but no thanks. Truth-telling time, guys. Type yes in the question box if you've had this experience. I'm just going to say in the last 6 months. In the last 6 months, have you had this experience where you know you can help them? You know that the transformation is a few steps away. You know if they signed up with you, that if they bought the coaching, bought the training, bought the consulting, booked the keynote, booked the seminar, you would have a dramatic impact on that conference, on that association, on that group, on that audience. But you had that other reaction because you were selling the input and not the outcome. So we got Matt, Patricia, Morgan, Sandra, Bradley, Phil, Gregory, Mariah, Carter, Susan, Hart. Okay, yeah. So again, I'm not alone. Luckily, I'm not alone. This is not great. This is not great, and we're going to fix it for you right here, right now. Here's the other problem with these folks. Even when you're hired, they treat you like dirt. They don't see the value. They argue. They push back on your fees. They don't do the work. If it's a coaching or a consulting client, they don't implement. They don't show up for coaching calls. They don't get results. Why? Because when you're selling a commodity, they treat you like a commodity. There's no urgency. There's no respect. All of these things on this slide are a lack of professional respect for what you do. They don't see the value. They don't do the work. They don't show up. They don't implement. They don't get results. This is kind of like a doom loop. So now I want you to type something from my people. I want you to type in the word oi. Oi if you had that experience where a less than ideal client said yes to you, and more importantly, you said yes to them, and it was that nightmare client. It was that client that didn't listen, pushed back, high maintenance, argued, second-guessed, micromanaged, perfectionist. Well, why isn't this ready? You said this would be ready. I sent you an email 37 minutes ago, and you haven't replied yet. Teresa, I sent you an email 37 minutes ago. You haven't replied yet.
Oi. we have Michael saying oi, 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 oi. Apparently that is a common problem. Yeah, that's pretty demanding, David. I haven't gotten to it yet.
So Paula, Stacy, Claude, Hart, Michael, Patricia. I like the different spellings of oi here, like a French kind of O-I, right? Oi, 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 oi. Very nice. Okay. Well, so here's the deal. When we're selling inputs, buyers don't care. Buyers simply do not care. Here's your magic strategic shift for 2018. Every single one of you, and I'm talking about every single one of you, is now in one of 3 businesses. Maybe you're in 2 of these or 3 of these. You solve people problems, you solve profit problems, or you solve process problems. Screenshot this slide. This is the business that you're in. Welcome to the party. You are in results land. You are in results land. You are not in speaking, training, coaching, seminar, keynote land. So you're either going to solve a people problem, a profit problem, or a process problem. And if you focus 100% of your marketing language, what's on your website, what's on your one sheet, what's on your sales conversations, what's on your LinkedIn, what's in every email that you send, focus 100% on solving these kinds of problems and you win. Because then you get the opposite effect, that now the sense of urgency goes way up. The sense of respect for what you do goes way up. the amount of money they're willing to pay goes way up. This is literally it, gang. People problems, write that down or take a screenshot. People problems, profit problems, process problems. That is the business that you and I and Teresa are in, all of us. So let's look at what this really means and how to kind of add some more language to it. I call this VIRO+E, and so my acronym around this is we're talking about, and every sales conversation, every piece of marketing material talks about the value, impact, results, and outcomes of your program. Plus, the most important part is the emotional payoff of solving those problems or achieving those outcomes. Because people are angry, people are frustrated, people are fearful, people are greedy, people are angry, people are hopeful, they're optimistic, they are ambitious. There's positive emotions and there's negative emotions. And in our sales dialogue, we have to address both because people move away from the painful emotional states and they move towards the positive aspirational emotional states, and you have to balance both. You have to balance both. But notice, I'm not talking about a speech anymore. I'm not talking about a consulting gig anymore. I'm talking about how would it feel for every member of your sales team to hit their quota month after month all year long if I'm a sales trainer, right? Notice the syntax. How would it feel, Mr. or Ms. CEO, Mr. or Ms. Sales VP? How would it feel to have everyone on the sales team hit their quota every month, all year long, for the rest of 2018? That's an emotional question with a rational answer, right? So that's what we're selling. Is that a speech? Is that coaching? Is that consulting? Is that a mentorship program? I don't know. I'm in the results business, gang. You're in the results business. How we do it, how much, how long, how much it costs, I don't know. Let's figure that out once we've established the problem and how seriously and how committed and how decisive you are about making the solution happen. So here's the 7-step process that we walk all of our clients through when we're trying to map out the speaking-driven empire. And this is really a self-diagnostic, quick self-check. Some of you guys have seen this before because, again, this is our methodology. We talk about this a lot. We share this a lot. It's strategy, packaging, focus, prospects, outreach, sales, and leverage. You have all 7 of those things firing on all cylinders, you're going to have success. So that the end state under that red arrow is what you get if you have all of them. If even one is missing, you're going to have some problems. Now, here's the bad news. The bad news is most speakers and experts and trainers and coaches that we talk to, they have more than one of these problems, like playing Jenga. When you remove a Jenga brick or stick, right, the whole thing falls over once you've removed 2 or 3 of these. So if we sat down and had a cup of coffee, within 5 minutes, I could tell which 2 or 3 are missing for you. So let's go through it, and you guys can maybe do a little self-diagnostic on this. No strategy, that means tacticitis. We talked about that at the top. That is throwing spaghetti against the wall, trying everything and anything to see what works. No packaging, and you're a commodity. Oh, I've got a seminar. Oh, I've got a training workshop. Oh, I've got a consulting program. Well, sure you do. You and everybody else. There's nothing faster, better, smarter, or cooler about it. No focus, and you're a squirrel. You're just going from, one idea to the next. You're just totally distracted. Shiny object syndrome rules the day. No prospecting plan, no systematic, consistent prospecting plan. You are pinballing all over the universe. One day you're with the lunch ladies, the next day you're with the accountants, the next day you're with the engineers. The problem with that is the engineers don't talk to the lunch ladies, don't talk to the accountants. So you never get that word of mouth traction. You never start getting the repeat business and the referral business that you need. No outreach. BKS stands for best kept secret. Of course you're a best kept secret. You never email, you never LinkedIn, you never call, you never reach out to the world. And again, we're talking about high relationship, high touch, hand-selected outreach. We're not talking about batch and blast spam. We're not talking about 10,000 postcards. We're not talking about 100 dials a day because that stuff is crazy, stupid, and broken. Don't do stuff that's crazy, stupid, and broken. Do you have to have a proactive outreach plan? You do. Otherwise, you're a best-kept secret. No sales. Welcome to my world. The first 3 years of my business, I was a sales train wreck. I was slowly going broke. I was upside down in credit card debt. I had $40,000 of credit card debt. I was like literally underwater, upside down. Luckily, someone said to me, well, maybe you should move that to your home equity line because then your interest rate will be lower. I did that, and now I could lose my house. It's like, oh, that's great advice. Thanks a lot. Now I'm homeless. Now I'm broke and homeless. Well, luckily, it never got to that because that was the time that I got serious. That was the time when I said, I got to master this sales thing, pull the nose up on the plane, and then never looked back since 2007, 2008. But man, I had a slowly going broke period for serious. Finally, no leverage, meaning that you're on the gig-to-gig hamster wheel, even if that's working. Even if that's working for you, you are now stressed out, maxed out, and burned out, and you've got no way to separate your income from your time, attention, or presence. So let's talk about which one of these, I meant to hold off on the slide here, which one of these down the right-hand side column is your closest friend? Just very quickly in the chat box, type in tacticitis, commodity, squirrel, pinball, BKS, which again, best kept secret, slow broke, or burnout. If you have multiples, it's okay to put in multiples, and we will fix all of these here by the time that we're done. So tacticitis, commodity, squirrel, pinball, BKS, which again, best kept secret, lack of outreach, slowly going broke, lack of sales process, sales discipline, or burnout with no leverage, selling hours for dollars, too much travel, too busy, too many clients, too many gigs, gig-to-gig hamster wheel. Teresa, what are people saying about their self-diagnosis, their self-check?
We've got a lot of squirrels in the house. A lot of squirrels, a lot of BKS. We got commodity, focus. Tacticitis. Aurora says tacticitis. Mariah, slow broke, burnout, and squirrel. Strategy 2, packaging sales. Pinball.
Yep.
Burnout, pinball, BKS. Yeah, lots of problems here.
Well,
David.
and again, let me emphasize, this is not just for newbies. This is not just for beginners. Someone who's just starting out, maybe getting a $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 fee. We've worked with folks at that level. We've worked with folks that have these strategic gaps at the $10,000 per program level. We've worked with, again, $15,000, $18,000, $20,000 speakers, where some of this is still not dialed in. So they're not getting the results they want at the level that they're at. This is not, oh, hey, let's make $10,000 a month. Some of you guys are already making $10,000, $20,000 a month, and you want to move to 30 and 40. Some of you are making 30 and 40. You want to move to 50 and 60. Some of you guys are just kind of starting out. You're making $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month. You'd love to get to 10 or 15 or 20. And so it's an acceleration. Once you fix these gaps and fix these problems, it's an accelerant. It's like a propellant, like a rocket pack strapped to your butt, and then Teresa lights the fuse. I don't light the fuse because I'm like afraid of flames, but Teresa lights the fuse around here.
Will travel have matches?
Yeah, I'm not sure what you would do with that comment, but I thought I'd kind of just leave a pause for you to jump in and go, what the hell is he talking about? What in the world is that? You never know what's going to come out of my mouth, so it's crazy. All right, some landmines to avoid. Landmine number 1, you have no idea who your prospects are. If your prospects are anyone and everyone, your prospects are no one. So I want you to commit right now for your 2018 strategic blueprint. You decide which corporations, executives, and groups and conferences are you trying to do business with? Whose doors are you knocking on? I want you to make a written, finite, workable list of 20 specific prospects. Teresa and I call this your active 20. Your active 20 boils down your entire marketing and sales universe to 20 corporations, associations, and groups, 20 specific executives, 20 decision makers, 20 buyers, call them what you want, 20 human beings that you want to invite to a conversation about how you can help them and how you can serve them. 20 people that you want in your TSA pre-check line where there's 20 passports that you could stamp, and there's 20 trips that they could take to the destination of their choice that is the most urgent, important, and valuable trip of their life. I'm using that metaphorically, of course. It's that stamping the passport, paying you money, getting your coaching, getting your consulting, hiring you for the keynote, hiring you for the training day, whatever it is. So let's talk about when you have this right, what might success look like? So John Garrett came through our program. He says, David's program is easily the best return on investment a recovering CPA could dream of. I was able to sell more speaking engagements to better clients at consistently higher fees, to the point of an 85% increase in income from last year. So again, talk about 2017 versus 2018. What would an 85% increase in income look like for you? And then as far as quick results, I booked a $5,500 gig within 5 weeks of starting the program, and then he's moving up $7,500 and up from there. So he had a very short turnaround on his strategy. And then when we got this case study from him, it was about a year after. And so now the long game is 85% increase in income year over year. I don't know about you, 85% income in my business and Teresa's business, we would be pretty darn happy. We'd be very, very happy with an 85% increase in income this time in 2018. I'm guessing you would too. Landmine number 2, no consistent sales process. I mentioned this before. Random activity leads to random results. Guys, sitting by the phone, waiting for it to ring is not a sales process. You must proactively target, reach out, and connect. With who? With the active 20 buyer list that I just had you made in landmine number 1. I had you make. Proactively target, you're selecting, you're inviting, you're filtering, and you're sorting, but you gotta reach out. You gotta connect. You gotta have a conversation, not to sell them, but to serve them. Not to sell them, but to see how you can help them. And it has to be specific, and it has to be in the context of what they already want to fix and solve. You do this right, and you'll have some pretty awesome results like our client, Tony Lucero. So Tony came through our program. He says, long story short, I picked up 2 coaching clients totaling $32,400, and I'm on retainer for 90 days at $10,000 per month with the company. Not bad. The reason I'm telling you all this is not to boast, as many of you are much better than I, so he's a nice, humble guy. I was doing the activity that David outlines and focused on what I wanted to attract to my business, right? The decisions, the active 20, the targeting, the proactivity, the outreach is what Tony's talking about. That's what allowed the doors to be opened. Stay the course, do the work, and know your target market. And then I put a comment down here, love these results, energy, and momentum, go Tony. And then Tony says down at the very bottom, your program, David, made this possible. I always give our clients the credit because our clients do the work. But with the structure and the mentoring and the guidance and the accountability, this is what he was able to do within a few weeks. And he was speaking all over the place. He was already somewhat successful. He had never done this kind of coaching and mentoring work until we opened the eyes to the problem solver and not just the speaker. So landmine number 3 is trying to pitch your speaking, pitch your consulting, and pitch your gosh darn programs, which I just told you nobody wants. Spending too much time hunting WABBITS and going gig to gig on the hamster wheel. Here's what you need to do. Here's your strategic shift. Stop pitching, stop pushing, stop selling. Ask more questions. Ask more questions. Shift into trusted advisor mode and problem solver mode. And here's the mantra that Teresa and I share with our clients all the time. Solve bigger problems, get bigger checks. Filling a speaking slot is not a problem. Getting a training day, getting a little commodity workshop is not a problem. Stop solving speaking, training, and consulting problems and start solving business problems. Start solving leadership problems. Start solving sales problems. Start solving communication problems. Start solving teamwork problems. Start solving what problems? People problems, process problems, and profit problems. We talked about those 3 before, right? Very, very important that you get anchored. That's what you are. No one here, by the way, I'm officially dechristening you. You've heard of christening when you give a name. Dechristening is taking away a name. No one here is a speaker. No one here is a consultant. No one here is a coach. No one here is a trainer. You are all professional problem solvers. And the tools in your toolkit might vary based on the depth, duration, and detail that you need to apply to a problem. But think about that. Write that down somewhere. Depth, duration, and detail. Those are the levers that you have. But you're in the problem-solving business, and the depth, duration, and detail are variable according to the depth, duration, and detail of the problem and the depth and duration of the solution. So let's look at one of our favorite people, Dr. Mike Thompson, very successful veteran speaker, doing this for 30 years, mostly in the education market. In his own words, Mike's problem was he was like Elmer Fudd, and he was hunting wabbits, and he was on the gig-to-gig hamster wheel, couple $1,000 here, couple $1,000 there, couple $1,000 here, 3-4 grand over here, over there, wherever, and never getting any traction, never getting the consistency that he knew he deserved. When he came on with us, he said, listen, I've talked to 2.5 million people. I've written over a dozen books. I thought I'd be further along by now. Why is this so hard? I thought I'd be further along by now. Why is this so hard? Let's catch up with what happened after. So Mike got into the business building mode, the problem solving mode of sponsorship. And he's like, I got one sponsor on the line for $50,000 and another one just signed a $75,000 a year contract for the next 3 years. So that's $225,000 collected in the bank. I can't say enough about David personally, and his mentoring program made all the difference. I've stopped hunting wabbits, and I'm finally building a real business around my speaking. So that kind of transformation, once you get your head right, once you fully and deeply embrace your role as a problem solver, and you shed your identity as I'm a speaker, I do speaking. I'm a coach, I do coaching. I'm a consultant, I do consulting. Solve their freaking problem. Teresa, you and I are getting t-shirts made up that simply say,
Yeah, what are they gonna do
solve
this time?
their freaking problem. And we're going to give it out. We're going to give it out to Claude. We're going to give it out to Karen, all of our fantastic clients that are on this call right now. They're all getting a shirt that just says, solve the freaking problem. Solve their freaking problem. And that's what's going to unlock your 2018 strategic success. That's a big pivot in mindset. I have great news for you guys. It is not a big pivot in your tactical, practical implementation. It's literally a 5, 10, 15% shift. Mike did not blow up his entire business model and start from scratch. Mike did a strategic 5, 10, 15% enhancement to his offerings, and then he had radically different type of sales conversations that we teach and coach in our program, and that's what unlocked these type of results. That's all it was. 5, 10, 15% shift, radically different type of sales conversation, and almost $300,000 of revenue within weeks. This didn't take months or years. This was within weeks that he signed the $75,000 a year, 3-year contract for $225K in the bank. So let's talk about fees. Let's talk about fees and money. If they don't have your fee, they're not your prospect. I could do a whole webinar just on that. And I think I have. It's the speaking fees webinar, but we're not doing that webinar right now. If you internalize this, make an internal bumper sticker, slap it on your forehead. This will dramatically transform your financial results in 2018. If they don't have your fee, they're not your prospect. And plus, if you're not getting the fees you deserve, a lot of people will lower the fees, they'll cave on the price. Totally wrong strategy. Totally opposite, totally upside down. That's the advice everyone else gives. Teresa's advice, my advice, you're not getting the fees you deserve. It's time to raise them. Time to raise your fees. When you raise your fees, you elevate your prospecting. When you raise your fees, you increase the filtering and sorting power of every prospecting conversation. Basically, if you attract broke prospects, you will go broke with them. do not attract broke prospects who can quote unquote afford your fee. Go upstream and find the clients who are looking for you upstream. Come up with a fee model that supports your business model. We're going to talk about that in a minute. And let's figure out, what are the investable opportunities that your prospects already want to buy? Do you have a variety of modes and formats to help them? Live, in person, online, virtual, whatever it may be. The golden triangle model that I speak and teach and preach about a lot, because it's baked into our program, speaking builds awareness. Then they're going to want to take something further. They want a training solution. That's where skills transfer happens. Once you do that, long-term behavior change is only delivered via coaching and consulting. So once you start working all three sides of this triangle, it becomes a beneficial cycle or a beneficial loop, that the more speaking you do, the more training they want. Because then it's like, oh my gosh, how can we bring you in? How can we make this a permanent part of what we're doing? How can you teach us and train us and condition us? How can you transfer these skills and competencies to our people so that we can do it too? That's training. And then when you're looking to move the battleship, right, move big, huge battleship, aircraft carrier, you're making a 90-degree turn, that's when you got to kick in the nuclear aircraft carrier engines. The captain is on the bridge turning the wheel, but then sustained energy over time is what that consulting and coaching program is like, and it takes the entire company on a different trajectory. So if you have speaking solutions, training solutions, and consulting and coaching solutions, you win. The top 1% of speakers that we talk about, and we work with some of them, use at least 3 of these revenue streams. Speaking, training, coaching, consulting, licensing, sponsorship. The numbers here can add up really quick. We're going to add up your numbers in a second. Little math problem coming up for you. But speaking, anywhere from 4,500, 10,000, 12,000. Like I said, we got folks at the 15, 18, 20K level that are in our program right now. Training, workshops, seminars, 4,500, 5,000 a day, 10,000 a day, 12,000, 15,000 for a day of training, for a day of seminars. Coaching, 6,000 a month. You saw Tony Lucero, 10,000 a month, 15K a month, up and up from there. Consulting gigs, easily 5K to 25K a month. We've got a past client who since graduated, he closed a $500,000 consulting project using the pricing model in our program. $500,000 consulting, bro. I said, well, how much would you have charged on your own? He says about $80,000, between 60 and 80. I said, aren't you glad you came into our program? Because he landed a $500,000 consulting program that he would have sold for between 60 and 80K. Licensing, sponsorship. You saw Mike Thompson's success with the sponsorship model. 225K from one, another 50K coming in from the other one. So figure out how you can use at least 3 of these, because you want your business firing on all cylinders. Isn't this cute? I love this little animation here. It's like, woo, little animated GIF file. Very exciting. I mean, this is a tech upgrade for me. I'm getting slides that animate. Woohoo!
Now this is uptown, David.
I
Wow.
know, right? This is major upgrade. Like, wow.
Up level.
People came just to see this slide. People came just to see David Newman up his game on the PowerPoint, which is kind of sad. Okay, so price times quantity equals total. This is our favorite activity. This is our favorite activity. We do this with most of our clients coming into our program to help you get clarity on what you could be making and what you should be making. So this is 3rd grade math, folks. 2 speeches, $5,500 a month if you're at that level. That's $11,000 a month. Let's say you've got a coaching investable opportunity. Those sell for $9,500. How much do you want to sell? 2 of those, that's 19 grand. Let's say you do 1 consulting gig a month, and that's 25 grand. So that might be a snapshot of your monthly number. So your monthly goal, using these numbers here, is $55,000. Multiply that by 12, you now have a $660,000 business. Fantastic. If you don't do consulting, take the consulting out of it, It's 2 speeches and 2 coaching. That's $30,000 a month. Still pretty good. 30 times 12 is 360. Now, here's the magic of this. Once you plug in how many of what at what fee, you now have a very clear financial target for 2018. Jackpot. Boom. Very clear financial target for 2018. I want you to spend a moment doing this math on your own. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Teresa and I will play some theme music here. But literally, jot down on a notepad, jot down on a piece of paper, how many of what at what fee, what's your model? How many speaking gigs? What's the speaking fee? 5,500, 6,500, 7,500. How many of those would you like a month? This is a monthly calculation. So number of what at what fee gives you what monthly income? If you're only doing speaking, you got a 1-line calculation, it's fine. If you're doing speaking and coaching, you'll have a 2-line calculation. If you're doing training and consulting, you've got a 2-line calculation with different line items. So what is your ultimate monthly number? What's your monthly number when you add up, okay, 2 speeches at 55, that's 11. I want 2 training days at 55, that's another 11. So ideally, it's going to be $22,000 a month. And then if you're feeling fancy, this is optional, that's why it's in parentheses, multiply that monthly number by 12. Multiply that monthly number by 12. So back of the envelope, right? 2 speeches, 10 grand, that's 20. 1 consulting client is 20, that's another 20. I'm doing 40 grand a month, I'm doing 480 a year. Very simple. So the number of what at what fee, what's that monthly number, right? Price times quantity equals total. And here's what I want you to do. If you've done the math, if this is logical, reality-based mathematics, 3rd grade math, type in your annual number you just came up with and the word real, meaning that you've done the math, this is totally real, totally doable, you can feel it, taste it, touch it, smell it almost. What's your annual number and the word real? I'll put this back just for the folks still doing the math. But you want yours to look something like this calculation, right? 2 of what at what fee, 2 of what else, or 1 of what else, or 3 of what else, at what fee, and then what's your monthly number look like? Very simple, 3rd grade math. I did the build on this slide the wrong way, but that's okay. So number of what at what fee equals how much per month, and then I want you to type in the question box the annual number you came up with and the word real, if it's real for you. Teresa, what are people putting in?
So, well, we got a lot of people still doing math apparently. We've got a couple have come in, 500K, real. 288K, real with a lot of L's. 198,000, Morgan says. Mariah is 132,000 per year, real. 32,000, just getting started. We got a good just getting started. Still do the math. Still work it out as best you can. 480K, not yet real. Interesting. Where's the comment box? She says 666 real. Carol says 306,000 real. 324,000. They're slowly coming in. They're getting the math on paper here. Keep them coming, guys. There we go. 150K, hoping to be real.
Yeah.
There's still a little disbelief there.
Well, I don't know. So listen, guys, let's stop this exercise just for a moment. You're putting in your own numbers. How can this not be real? See, this is a huge, huge problem. If you're putting in math that you don't believe, we got to talk. I mean, we just got to talk. We got to have a come to Newman, come to Teresa conversation. We're not putting any kind of numbers on you. You're saying 2018 is coming up. What's my strategic financial revenue goal? You're putting it together and then you're going, nah, I don't believe it. Well, put something you believe. Why would you put numbers in that you don't believe? Notice the blanks. Notice the blanks. The blanks are you put in your number. You put in what you want. You put in what you need. You put in the business that you would like to create, right? And if you're putting in BS numbers, well, go back and put in real numbers. This is not about painting. This is, oh God, this makes me so pissed off. I'm gonna go bananas here for a second, and it's for
Well,
your benefit.
one little clarification that came in is that this is the goal, and it just hasn't been realized yet in real life.
No,
So
of course, no, that's fine. That is fine. But do you feel the reality of it? Does it feel tangible and doable based on very simple third grade mathematics? You know, Teresa and I, we are so much against all this millionaire speaker hype and $1 million this and $1 million that. If you're making an extra $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 after working with us, we are super happy. Do you have to get to $1 million? You do not. Are all the millionaire speaker shysters and scammers trying to sell you a bill of goods? Sadly, they are. I'm not selling you $1 million anything. I'm trying to get you anchored in the financial reality of what you need and want to earn as a speaking-driven professional. I'm so passionate about this. I'm going hoarse. I'm going hoarse over here. Like, roar. I'm going crazy over here, guys. Your 2018 game plan, if this isn't real for you, it's built on sand. If you're putting your own numbers of what you want to create in here and you don't believe it, you're never going to make it. You're just, I hate to be the bearer of bad news at this point, you're never freaking going to make it. So you better make these numbers real. You better make these numbers serious, right? Otherwise, it's a hobby. This is a hobby, guys. I'm so sick and tired of people treating this like some side business. Getting paid is optional. Let me see what I can get. Let's see what their budget is. Let me just wing it. No, that is done. That is over. That's going to kill you. And that's another webinar, by the way. But that's going to kill your freaking speaking business. It's going to kill you dead. So, oh my gosh. Okay, let's talk about prospecting. We're going to move to a happier topic because you guys are just pissing me off. Just pissing me right off. All right, Google is your friend. Your topic, right? Put in your topic and the word conference, your topic and the word convention, your topic and 2018 annual meeting. Put in regional information, state, Pennsylvania, California, Texas, industry, chemical association, farming association, candy association, conference meeting. All of these different variations of Google searches will give you hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of opportunities. Also, I want you to look at sponsors of these events, past meetings, previous speakers. So here's what it looks like. I'm typing in Banking Conference 2017, Banking Conference 2018. It's also good to find last year's conference website. So I find American Banker. I look at the Card Forum, the Mentor Factor, Digital Mortgage Conference. I find the pull down that says national and regional events and conferences. That leads me to the American Bankers Association. Same thing here. I look at their online training, look at their publications, Banking in a Brave New World, ABA National Conference for Community Bankers. I'm finding old stuff, I'm finding new stuff, but I'm finding the mothership where I can find the most current 2017, 2018, 2019 events. That might lead me to a state association, New York Bankers Association, 2017 Small Business Retail Banking Conference. I then see a menu on the left-hand sidebar, major meetings and conferences. I click on that. That's another gold mine. I then go to publications because maybe they want to get an article from me. Maybe that's my foot in the door strategy to get in with the New York Bankers Association. Then I pull up their sponsors and exhibitors. As far as a sponsorship game plan, if these people are sponsoring the American Bankers Association, they want to get in front of bankers. If I want to get in front of bankers, every single one of these exhibitors and sponsors might be a sponsor for me, right? Might be a sponsor for me. I would find the 2016 list. I would find the 2017 list. I would find the 2018 list. I would just go crazy on this. So the mindset shift when you reach out to all those fabulous leads that you just found is don't look for ways to sell them your services. Look for ways to solve their problem. Look for ways to solve their problem. How can you help? How can you supplement and complement the programming and the conferences and the speakers that they've already had in the past with something that is dramatically relevant, valuable, and on point? Now, when you do this, you're going to have some amazing client success. When you start playing the relevancy game instead of the spam game. So John Ramstead came through the program, says, David, using your talking points, I just got my first $25,000 this week. Client gave me $5,000 at the last meeting and will pay the balance when we start our program next week. So it's about reshifting from a speaking, coaching, consulting conversation to a relevance, value, and impact conversation. You do that with every speech, every keynote, every seminar, every consulting, every coaching. Here's the economic reality of speaking fees. And I pulled this right from the National Speakers Association. This is average fees compared to years with NSA. And I want you to ignore the 3 bars. I pulled out the daily number because I believe that we have a daily number. You don't need the others. And I would also ignore the left-hand side, 1 year, 1 to 2 years, 3 to 5 years. What I'm showing you here is if you're charging, and this isn't a lot of people on this call, I realize this, but if you're charging less than $3,000 or $4,000, you're a total amateur. You're a total beginner. Your pricing betrays your positioning. If you're worth your salt, you're immediately charging $5,500, $6,500, $7,500 out of the gate. And then it goes up and up and up from there. We've got folks that are just a year in the business and they're charging and getting 10 and 12 grand because their value is 10 and 12 grand. We've got 20-year veterans who are charging 5 and 7 because of low self-esteem and low self-worth. They're now booking and getting $20,000 fees. So do not undercut. Do not lowball yourself. People say, oh, all the buyers lowball speakers. You know who lowballs speakers even more? Speakers lowball themselves. So please don't do that. Please don't do that. The bottom line floor, the very minimum you should charge to put pants on and leave your house is $5,500, $6,500, $7,500. It's not about what you need to earn and you will earn more money. It's about what they need to pay to take you seriously. It's about what they need to pay because your pricing is your positioning. Now, again, let's spend some time on the sales success because people come through the program and they get immediate, fantastic, amazing results. So just ran some numbers. We had gross revenue of $106K for the past 6 months. That's more than I've ever made anywhere in any 6-month period. Another thanks. Have a great weekend. Here's one of our speakers who had never gotten paid to speak and quickly elevated from $7,500 to 10 grand to 12.5. I just got another gig for $12,500 for a day. I'm steadily raising my fees and so far getting it. I'm still not getting as many as I want, which is fine. That's reality, right? That's, the good with the bad, but I'm getting more for the ones I'm getting. So I'm happy with my progress. Here's someone booked a 2-day program for $30,000. Hey, how's your 30K gig coming along? Did that close? Yes, it's happening in 2 weeks. So boom, 30,000. Because of David and Teresa, I have a system to contact qualified leads. My sales proposition is what they're looking for, and I'm booking clients. And so that's, again, the partnership that we have with our clients is to make that happen. Let's tally the Nudge from Newman numbers. 3 new clients, almost $20,000 in income upfront, and a clear path towards only doing one-to-many group coaching for high fees. Hard to put a price on the increasing clarity, excitement, and vision for my future, but let's just say I haven't slept in almost 3 weeks because my brain is too excited about the possibilities. I must tell you, because of so much I learned from you, I broke the 6-figure mark already this year, and it's not even October yet, so this came in about 6 weeks ago. I did a quick screenshot. Thank you. What you're teaching works. What you're teaching works. I love that. Proof that it's always best to get on the phone to discuss possibilities and to go into the conversation with a confident, I can help you mindset. Right? We talked about this, guys. Not pushing, not striving, not selling. I can help you. My client call ended in a full fee booking for February 2018, $7,500. Boom, easy, done. I love this stuff. I love these client stories. Teresa, I love these client stories.
Not as much as I love them.
So, I mean, we could go on. We could do a whole webinar on that, but that would be drop dead boring. So, stop paying your dues, gang, whatever level you're at. $5,000 speaker, $10,000 speaker, $20,000 speaker. Stop paying your dues. I'm not even sure what that means. Does that mean you have to speak for free? You have to pay your dues? You have to start small? You're not ready to charge more? You're not good enough? You're just in this for X number of years, fill in the blank, 5, 10, 30. What? I mean, killer, deadly, crazy thinking. Please build your 2018 strategy without that crazy thinking holding you back. And it's time to start paying your bills. So at whatever level you may be as a speaking-driven professional, if you're tired of undercharging and under-earning, we should talk. Even if you're a seasoned pro, maybe especially if you're a seasoned pro, because the fees that you charge are a filter for your best clients. Fees are a filter for who they look at and who they hire. Premium clients are expecting to pay premium fees. It's not about what you need to earn. I mentioned this a second ago. It's about what they need to pay. So understanding that and showing you the NSA kind of minimum wage chart, type in your new fee. What's your new speaking fee? What's your new training day? What's your new fee? And then one word on how that feels. So $7,500, awesome. $5,000, about time. $6,500, heck yes. Type in your new fee, what the number is, the numerical value of your new speaking or training fee, seminar fee, and one word about how that makes you feel. And man, this better be real. We're gonna go back to the real slide. We'll do some whoop ass. We're gonna do some whoop ass on that, and I'm glad I'm past that emotional trauma.
Well, we're strong out of the gate, David. We started out with 10K. Then we go to 75,000, awesome. 6,000, wee, Phil says. Nancy says valued, all right. Patricia, 5,000, amazing. 10,000, fantastic. Glenn says 8K, real. He's back in that real world. Speaking, 7,500. Training, 7,500. Group mentoring, 5,000 a week, Michael says. Morgan says 5,000, solid. That's her emotional word.
Very nice.
7,500 speaking fee, feels awesome. 6,500 deserving and valued. Great words.
Awesome. And my finger, actually, I didn't mean to cut you off there. My finger just sort of went woo, and so we're into the next slide. But we may as well go on. But those are all fantastic. And I love the emotional words almost more than I love the money. Because the money's going to be there, but it's the self-esteem, the self-worth, and gaining and claiming your marketplace value that this is really about. So here's the good news. Based on our experience, you can turn this around in a few weeks. No more small potatoes thinking, no more small potatoes doing. Stop treating this like an expensive hobby. You do it good, right? Because think about it. Doing okay financially was not your initial dream when you started this entrepreneurial business. Treading water and just kind of barely paying the bills, that was not your initial dream. You wanted to do this for significance. You wanted to do this for income. You wanted to do this to have the lifestyle that you know you can have. So if doing okay was your initial dream and you're there, great. If you want to do better than okay or a lot better than okay, we should talk. So my philosophy and Teresa's philosophy is, what's the baseline that you should be earning in a year? We call it doctor money. So according to payscale.com, the average salary for a doctor is $186,600 a year. If you're not making at least doctor money, there's a serious problem. Some of our clients are making double doctor money, triple doctor money, and they want to add some more to that. And that's perfectly fine too. But if you're just starting out, this should be your goal. And this should be as real as the nose on your face, by the way. So client success, Susan Robertson, once we got her mindset straight about value and fees and money, she had never been paid to speak, very successful consultant. She got a confirmed gig within weeks of starting our mentorship, $7,500 right out of the gate. Then she had this next success. This was about 2 weeks after that. She says, I got a speaking gig that I feel sure I never would have gotten if I weren't in your program. Chock full of prime prospects. I would have done it for free, but instead I'm getting 3,500 plus full-length HD video, plus personal introductions to people I target from their list, plus video testimonials. That's a huge win. That's a huge win for something I would have normally done for free and probably wouldn't have even thought to try to get regardless. And Teresa and I are doing one of our live events. Now, I replied, totally fantastic. Huge congrats from me and Teresa. I just handed her the phone to show her your message. And since then, she's actually elevated her fee. She was the one that I showed you a second ago. She's now $12,500. She's now $12,500 and getting it and charging it consistently and regularly. So even while she was with us, going from $0 to $11,000 in 6 weeks, totally amazing. Susan gets the credit because Susan did the work, but she left that small potatoes struggling thinking behind. She left
You know,
that this is hard mindset behind.
and I want to add too, this is a woman who was ready to give it in, just throw in the towel and be done with it all. And she went all in on herself and did the work. And these are the kinds of results that for me, just it makes my day, it makes my week, it makes my month. And so, those people who are on that edge, just change that mindset, move it in a new direction, make 2018 your year. That's what I got to say.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And then the bonus strategy that we would share with you is about investing in mentoring. I'm a firm believer, having resisted this and rejected this for way too long in my own personal journey. Everyone should have a mentor. Mentoring brings new ideas and accountability and real-world advice. It is your GPS, it's your compass and your map. It helps you gain speed, shorten your path, avoid potholes, remove obstacles, guides your action at every step, answers questions. It is the straightest and shortest line to outcomes and results. A good mentor is going to give you great ideas and make sure you act on them. A great mentor will also put together a powerful group of people all working towards similar goals, and that is a force multiplier. So in the mentoring program that Teresa and I run, there are people earning $3,000 a month, working right alongside people earning $30,000 a month and more, and everyone benefits. Everyone wins in that cross-pollination of ideas. So your 2018 blueprint is going to be based on the following. Harsh reality here, guys. The old way that speakers got booked, paid, and built a high-profit business is coming to an end. There is so much recycled information, outdated strategies, clueless peers, greedy gurus, broken promises. They are going to destroy a lot of speakers over the next 6 to 12 months. If you want to win, you need to do things smarter. You need to move into problem solver mode that we talked about, focus on solving real problems, building a real business, right? Stop hunting WABBITS, do your math, price times quantity equals total, and not just hunting around waiting for the next gig to find you. And the time to do that is right now. So at this point, you've got a choice. You can keep going the old way. You can keep going 2010, 2012, 2013, 14, 17, whatever the heck you were doing before. Old results, slow path, very difficult. This is hard mindset. Oh, everything is hard. I can't find prospects. I can't make money, and all the whining and bitching and nonsense. You can keep being confused. You can keep spinning your wheels, still not earning what you deserve, not reaching that next level of income, whether that's 5K, 10K, 20K, 30K, 40K a month, whatever it is for you. Can't figure out the password to that secret club of the top 1% of speaking-driven experts. You've got no guidance, no accountability, no support. That is a hard, lonely road. How do I know? I've been on it. I traveled that hard, lonely road. I was the last one to sign up for any kind of coaching or mentorship or help or guidance from anybody because I thought I could figure it out on my own. And when I left that behind is when I started making hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. Coincidence? I think not. So here's what we'd like to do. That can all end for you today when you book a strategy call at doitmarketing.com/apply. We're going to get on the phone, diagnose what's really going on in your business, find the strategic gaps, unlock some of the strategies that the top 1% of speakers use that we share with you today, help you refocus, reframe, and reboot your entire speaking-driven business, look in great detail about what needs to be fixed, messaging, packaging, positioning, pricing, marketing, sales, fill in exactly what's missing for you to consistently get clients that you love and finally earn what you deserve. So we're going to do a big Q&A right now. Teresa and I are going to hang out here, like I said, until we outnumber you, until we run out of questions. But if you want to book this call now, right now, go to doitmarketing.com/apply. Get onto our calendar. There's going to be a questionnaire that comes up. Leave that screen open. Come back here. Be in the Q&A. We need the questionnaire so we can hit the ground running during your consultation call. But if you want to do this right now, make sure to reserve your spot. We've got a few slots this afternoon and into tomorrow and Friday. And then that is it. That is it. So let me put this into our little chat window here. So it's Do It Marketing. I never know where to put this. If you put it in the wrong spot, it doesn't work. So it's Do It Marketing LANDMINE.com/apply. That should be a hot clickable link that just came across to everybody. Just want to make sure we test that puppy, make sure it's all hip bone connected to the elbow bone before we get into our Q&A. That should be working for you. Are people clicking through, and is that working? Do we test that real quick?
It is. I've Mark, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you later today. Phil, I'll see
there
you
go.
tomorrow.
Awesome. So people are already coming in. So the only catch, and it's a small catch, but the only catch with this is it's really not for everybody. This is for people who are serious and decisive and committed, right? Just like we taught you guys at the top of the hour, we're not in the sales business. We're in the filtering and sorting business. We really are. We're in the filtering and sorting business. So this is not for you if building a high-fee, speaking-driven business is not your number one priority over the next 3 to 6 months. Number one priority for the first half of 2018. If you don't care about this, don't book a call. Why would you book a call if you don't care about doing this in the first half of 2018? You don't know what you want to be when you grow up. So again, no dabblers, no hobbyists, no people who are kind of dazed and confused. You refuse to follow a proven process and take action on instructions. So you have to be coachable. You refuse to change your low-fee mindset and your low-fee business model. We're going to have you charging more money than you've ever charged and getting it. But you have to be willing to have different numbers leave your mouth. You're a fake expert, your program, your topic doesn't truly help people and companies improve. We don't play with that. We're not going to help you if you're a charlatan, if you're a fake, if you're a scammer. And if you're down to your last few dollars, you need to pay the rent this month. Sadly, none of this is get rich quick. None of this is millionaire speaker hype and nonsense. So it's not a get rich quick scheme. It's get rich smart. It's get rich smart. So if you want to book a call, it's doitmarketing.com/apply. If you're serious, decisive, and committed to making your speaking-driven business profitable over the next 60 days, we definitely should talk. Whether you've started speaking or you're a seasoned pro, and again, I showed you 20, 25, 30-year veterans that have come through our program and completely revolutionized their business. They've revolutionized their business model. They've revolutionized their income. Whether you've got your niche or message nailed down or not, or whether you're changing it or pivoting it, we'd still like to talk to you if you meet these criteria. Whether you're in it full-time or planning your corporate escape. Some of our most successful clients were still working the day job. They knew they had to dig their well before they're thirsty, and when it came time to cut the cord, they were positioned, packaged, prepared, and they were getting checks in the door within weeks instead of waiting months and months and months and having that revenue gap in their income. Whether you've gotten a few paid speaking gigs or a ton, doesn't matter. As long as you're willing to follow a proven process to ramp up your revenue, you take mentorship and direction well, and you want to put another 10 to 20K in your pocket over the next 60 to 90 days and build a predictable flow of clients and cash, Teresa wants to talk to you. I want to talk to you. The calendar's open. Help yourself to a slot. It's at doitmarketing.com/apply. So sometimes people ask, well, why are you doing this? Why are you guys so nice that you like to help people and talk to people? Very simple. On the call, we're going to work with you to craft a step-by-step game plan to hit your income goals for the next 12 months and attract the exact clients that you want to work with. The cost of this call, absolutely free. We get that question a lot. Like, is this call free? Yes, this call is free. We know that you might want our help to transform your speaking-driven business. If that's the case, we can discuss it and see if it's a good fit in both directions. If not, that is fine too. Either way, it's going to be the most valuable 45 to 60 minutes that you're going to invest to grow your speaking-driven business and help you get real results. Whether you're in this for 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, doitmarketing.com/apply. That's where to go to have a serious, reality-based conversation about where you are, where you'd like to go, and what it's going to take to get you there in the first few months or first half of 2018. If you're interested in a rapid breakthrough, we literally have a couple of slots today, and they might already be gone. I'm not sure what my calendar's kind of filling up here like crazy. And then tomorrow and Friday. And then once those are gone, we might be opening up Monday. I'm not sure. but these always go fast. Always, always, always go fast. So if you're serious, if you're committed, if you're ready to have a conversation about getting things lined up for 2018 the way we talked about here today, it's doitmarketing.com/apply. So we're in our Q&A, ready to take questions. Anything that we talked about today, any of the teaching, any of the planning tools, any of the financial tools, any of the strategic tools, questions, thoughts, clarification, application to your specific speaking-driven business, your niche, your audience, your prospects, your pipeline. Teresa and I are here. I'm hoarse, but I'm here, and we're ready to help. We're ready to help. So who's got the first question? Just type it in the question box, and let's see if we can help you guys here in a little 10, 15-minute Q&A session. As many questions as you have, we probably have 2 or 3 times as many answers.
So Sylvia has our first one out of the gate. She says, how do you open the phone call with someone you haven't worked with or spoken to in their industry?
So I guess that's 2 questions. 1 is how do you open a phone call? Then 2 is how do you overcome the objection that you haven't done work in our industry? And is it Sylvia?
It is Sylvia.
Sylvia. So Sylvia, am I correct in breaking up that into 2 separate questions, because I've got 2 separate answers, and I'll start answering it, and then you type in there if I'm going up the wrong track.
Nope, she says yes.
Okay, good, great, perfect. So opening the conversation is based on everything that you've done by way of research, by way of making sure that your topic is relevant, on point, something that they need that addresses a significant problem that association or that corporation or that group is going through. So part of what we teach and preach and do in our program is a deep dive relevance and research campaign called a listening campaign. So you have your ear to the ground. If you're in the chemical industry, what's going on in the chemical industry? What are the trends? What are the patterns? What are the disruptions? What are executives in that industry talking about, worried about, looking forward to? You have to have your finger on the pulse. And it goes back to Tony Lucero. Remember, Tony said, hey, I got a $32,000 consulting gig. I'm doing executive coaching for $10,000 a month. You have to do your research. You have to know what these people want. You have to know what these people are afraid of. You have to know what these people are up against. And then you open the conversation with an immediately relevant, immediately engaging series of questions. Not about you're a great speaker, you're awesome, you're a fantastic coach. It's about what they're up against, their people, their members, their association, their meeting, their goals, their obstacles. And because you're speaking prospect language about prospect problems, you immediately gain their respect and attention. So that's answer number 1. Answer number 2 is how do you frame your background if you've never done work in that industry? I think a lot of people have a self-limiting belief because you're afraid of getting the following question. Well, we're a big multinational bank. How many big multinational banks have you talked to? We're a small local family-owned chemical company. How many small local family-owned chemical companies have you talked to? If you end up getting that question, it's because you failed in part 1. When you immediately show up on their radar as relevant, on point, speaking prospect language about prospect problems, the assumption or the presumption is you know that prospect almost better than they know themselves. So I'm, again, going to be drawn back to the word relevance. When you have a highly relevant conversation, no one's going to doubt your credibility. No one's going to even ask about the track record or what other banks have you done this with. You get that when you're selling a speech. You get that when you're selling a consulting package. You get that when you're selling a coaching program. That's when they start to poke holes. And remember, when I said you come across as a commodity, they say, no thanks, doesn't sound like a fit, not what we need, not what we want, maybe next year. There's no urgency, there's no respect, there's no relevance, there's no burning platform upon which you can solve the problem. So then they poke holes in the only thing they know how to poke holes into, which is, well, how many clients exactly like me have you worked with? And that's a total nonsensical question. There are ways to overcome that question if it comes up that 1 time out of 10 where a good prospect might ask you that question. I'll give you the clue, the hint is you deflect and reframe. You deflect and reframe. So people come to us and say, well, I'm a 30-year veteran healthcare speaker. I've done 5,000 programs. I live in Louisiana, and I'm balding on top. Have you ever worked with a 30-year healthcare speaker veteran from Louisiana who's balding on top? And we would say, well, Billy, no, we haven't. He's one of our favorite alumni. We say, Billy, we haven't, but I'll tell you what we have worked with is people who want what you just said you want, right? More clients, more revenue, more freedom, more scalability, more time, more And then I'll be very upfront in handling that objection. I say, Billy, I totally understand. If that's a deal breaker, that I've never worked with someone exactly like you, and you don't think everything we've talked about is worth solving, then I guess this conversation is over. So here's another filtering and sorting mantra for you. The filtering and sorting mantra is you can never say anything that will blow up a good prospect. If you say that and they go, well, I guess the conversation's over, they hang up the phone, guess what? Big surprise. They were never a good prospect to begin with. So our entire program, which I'll talk to you about, Teresa will talk to you about when you go to doitmarketing.com/apply, it's about having the right conversation with the right people for the right reason using the right language. You do that, and all of their fear and doubt and, who are you and who else have you done this for and how do I know it'll work and do you have a guarantee and, can I see your, DNA records and can I get a blood test? All of that goes away. All of that goes away because you are showing up on their radar not as a pitcher or a peddler, but as a trusted advisor whose primary goal is to help them. So there you go. I hope that was a thorough and complete answer for you.
A great answer. All right. Dominique has a question in regards to writing books as a speaker. Do ebooks perceive to hold the same credible weight as printed books?
So I could give you an answer, or I can give you the David Newman answer. The answer is no. Period. End of sentence. Ebooks do not have the credibility of real books. The premise of your question, however, because Teresa and I are pretty good at sussing out the question behind the question, is do I need a book to be a speaker? And here's another myth, another big myth, and a myth that has been holding you back. And so when you book a call at doitmarketing.com/apply, we can talk about busting that myth. You do not need to have a book. All these other gurus, oh, you have to have a book. This is like common advice. Oh, you'll be a speaker, a consultant. You totally have to write a book. In fact, the more books you write, the better. Go write a new book. Wait 6 months and then you'll get paid to speak on the new book. OMG. OMG. That is totally wrong, backwards, upside down, crazy advice. What you need is relevance, expertise, and enthusiasm. And then you need some indisputable points of proof that you can point to that prove to the buyer beyond a shadow of a doubt that you know what you're talking about. So that could be your blog. That could be a handful of articles that you write. That could be your podcast. That could be some YouTube videos that you put out there. Anything that says this person is on top of this industry, this person has valuable, relevant, high-impact solutions to exactly the problems and pains and heartaches that we're dealing with, she can help us. She can help us, and that's going to stimulate a phone call. She can help us, and that will let you reach out to them on LinkedIn. She can help us, and that will make them much more receptive to your proactive outreach when you connect with them. So it's not about, I have to have a book, let me go write the book for 9 months, then I'm ready for a speaking business. Again, build your well before you're thirsty, gang. And that answer is for, who is it?
Dominique.
Dominique, thank you. So that's for Dominique, but it's for everybody. It's absolutely for everybody. Do not wait until you have the next thing. The next book, the next certification, the next number of hundreds of hours in your coaching program, the next set of fancy letters after your name. I will tell you, for most people on this call, if you qualify based on the criteria that Teresa and I shared with you, you are readier than you think, and you've been holding yourself back by playing small potatoes, by giving into fear and scarcity and I'm not good enough and the imposter syndrome, and that needs to stop for 2018. Please, 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 that needs to stop for 2018. We can help you get over it when you book a call at doitmarketing.com/apply. Who's got the next question?
That's it, David. We don't have a lot of questions today. Come on, guys. What else do you got? What's burning? What is that secret you're wanting to know? What is that clarification? There's got to be something that is bubbling in that brain of yours that we can answer for you today. Let's get those questions posted and let us help you today. Like, we want to bring immense value. You walk away from here with answers. That's our goal.
Well, and
so
I think
what answer can we provide you?
People were typing some questions earlier that sort of flew by in all the flurry of activity. Yep. We're not going to be able to scroll back and go through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of responses. So if you asked a question earlier and we somehow missed it, please retype the question now so it shows up at the top of the queue. And again, questions about any of the teaching today, questions about rejiggering your strategy for 2018, questions about increasing your speaking-driven income and lead flow and results, any of those questions, we are here to help you. Obviously, we're here to help you on a deeper level on these speaker strategy calls. doitmarketing.com/apply. We'll help you get some clarity for your specific situation, do a whole deep dive on what you need to look at and fix and improve and how to pull the nose up on the plane, whether that's heading into the mountains or whether you're at 10,000 feet heading to 50,000 feet.
So Dominic has one other. Can you share an example of a client who utilized licensing and how they achieved that?
Sure. Well, so licensing means different things to different people. And this is, again, this is the 7th pillar around leverage, about how to get a real business going around your intellectual capital so that you're not constantly trading hours for dollars, even if it's high dollars for low hours, but you're eventually going to run out of speaking slots and coaching slots and consulting slots. So you can license internally or you can license externally. Internal licensing, we had a client who was a leadership speaker. She had basically a training kit. And the training kit she licensed in-house to companies that did not want to bring her in year after year, but wanted to have her material taught by their in-house trainers. And so they had a licensing deal. I think it was about $45,000 or $50,000 per year, and it was renewable. And she flew down and she trained, I think, about 5 of their in-house training staff. And they had the workbooks and they had the participant guides and they had all of that stuff. And so that was a renewable asset. When I say renewable asset, what I mean is it's like printing money. So you take the licensing agreement from 2017, you change the date to 2018, and now you get another $50,000 in the door and you've done no additional work. So that is internal licensing. External licensing is about licensing other trainers and speakers and coaches to deliver your program as part of their entrepreneurial business. So you've got people like John Jansch, Duct Tape Marketing, wrote a great book called Duct Tape Marketing. He now has over 200 people in his duct tape marketing consultant network. These are people that take John's strategies, and they're marketing coaches just like John, and they use his methodology, training, and tools under license with permission and with a fee being paid, but they don't have to reinvent the wheel. So all these 200 marketing consultants, they're not in their basement going, file new, okay, how do I do positioning? Okay, file new, how do I do marketing outreach, right? They're licensing John's intellectual capital to become a duct tape certified marketing consultant. And he's got about 200 people at last count, the last time I heard him talk about it, 200 licensees that use his material as part of their entrepreneurial speaking and training business. So that's external licensing. And you can do it a whole bunch of ways. We've got clients that have done it internal. We've done it external. I have an external program called the Do It Marketing Certified Consultant Program. Put about 8 people through the beta version of that. And they're out there teaching and preaching my small business marketing material to their clients and audiences. They're basically baking it in. They're integrating it into what they're doing so they don't have to start with a clean piece of paper. But we can totally help you with that. We can totally talk about that when you book some time at that link at doitmarketing.com/apply. What else? Anything else?
Right.
Other questions? Anything else that we can help you guys with before we wrap it up?
We got several more coming in here. I'm in the health coaching industry. Do you have clients in this area? And yes, I thought there was more to the question. That's it.
Again, I'm going to give the short answer, the un-Newman-like answer, which is the one-word answer, yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Dave wants to know more about the listening tour. Can you talk more about the listening tour and how to do that?
Yeah. Great. So the listening campaign is all about finding online and offline, but it's easier, much easier online. Find the blogs, portals, communities, and websites that your target market is already gathering in. So we're talking about LinkedIn groups. We're talking about Facebook groups. We're talking about online portals, blogs, communities, forums, bulletin boards. There are hundreds in every imaginable niche and industry. There are hundreds of these. And just listen. Be a fly on the wall. Look at the conversations that get a lot of likes, a lot of interaction, a lot of comments, a lot of answers, a lot of discussion, because now you've identified the hot button topics. The hot button topics in your niche are what they are urgently looking to solve. And so as you're doing that, you're gathering what we call your marketing language bank, because their words are always the right words. The way they describe the problem is the way you describe the problem. So you're looking for consistent themes, you're looking for threads, you're looking for consistent trends in the articulation of these problems that you're great at solving. So if you're a leadership speaker, you're going to go to places where they talk about leadership problems. If you're a sales speaker, you're going to look for places where they talk about sales problems. If you're a recruiting and retention expert, you're going to go to these blogs and portals and communities where they discuss recruiting and retention problems. And you're going to be listening for what is the most relevant, valuable, popular problem that as a whole this community has. And then you can also identify individual decision makers or buyers or people who look like they're from an interesting company or have an interesting job title like CEO or senior VP or executive vice president or VP of sales or VP of HR, whatever it is, whoever you're trying to reach, and reach out to them one-on-one. There's an organic outreach campaign based on your listening campaign that you can, this is how people start to book gigs in a week or two. They just start to reach out to people, say, hey, I saw your comment on LinkedIn. Hey, I saw your comment on that blog. I saw your question in that community that we're both belonging to. I think I have some answers and ideas that might help you. You want to hop on a quick call? Boom, you're in. Relevance is high. Relationship is high. The chance of you selling something is also high. But you're not going into that conversation to sell. Just like when Teresa and I get people on the phone, you guys that are booking the call right now, we're not going to sell you anything. Number one, we're going to see if we can help you. And then number two, we're going to see if we want to work with you. And obviously, you're going to see if you want to work with us. So when you do these calls in your business, same thing. Can I help this person? And do I want to? And then we're simply adjusting the dials on the depth, duration, and detail of what's the size and scope of their problem and what might be the size and scope of my solution. So the listening campaign, the research campaign, essentially is the front end to some early sales conversations before you're ready with anything other than the willingness and capability to help them achieve a result. And that's gold. That's gold, like with a capital G. Gold, gold, gold. That's how to do it.
Fantastic. So one other question here. It says, can you give an example of how to structure consulting that could bring $10,000 to $20,000 a month? Now, I'm not sure if that is what the golden triangle, Pat, that you're referring to, what we talked about earlier. Can you clarify the question a bit? We'll see if he comes in.
Well,
and then
let me also answer it with our $500,000 case study. So a lot of people lowball their consulting. And so this is our client, Adrian, who had some amazing, fantastic success. Again, already successful speaker, already successful coach and consultant, had a lot of this figured out. Came to us and knew he could play a bigger game and knew he could bring in bigger dollars. So a deal comes in and he says, well, you know, I'd ordinarily do a couple training days and I do some of this and I do some consulting, we do some webinars, do some phone calls. I was like, no. Remember, inputs versus outputs. You're not selling training days, webinars, keynotes, phone calls. What's the transformation that they want? He says, I don't know. I said, good, you got to ask. So he sits down and has a meeting with these people, gathers all this intelligence, understands the scope and depth and duration of the problem, conveys that to me. I say, here's what you go back with. $20,000 a month is your fee, plus 10% of the bump in revenue. And that's what you do. And he fell off his chair. He's like, oh my, I've never done, I can't imagine, blah, blah, blah. I said, listen, trust me. The way you've described the problem, this is peanuts compared to the needle movers that you're going to install in their business. Can you help these people? He goes, oh my God, I can help them in a dramatic, huge way. Great. Do you want to help them? Are they a cool bunch of people? Would you like working with them? Yeah, I'd love working with them. Fantastic. $20,000 a month, 10% of the bump of the increase in revenue. He goes, he has the meeting. The CEO, the CFO, the VP of sales, they're all sitting around the table. It comes time to talk about the money. How much is it? Well, it's $20,000 a month and 10% of the increase in sales. The CEO looks at the CFO. The CFO looks at the VP of sales. The VP of sales looks back at the CFO. The CFO looks back at the CEO. The CEO says, sounds good. I only have one question. Is that 10% on the net or the gross? Done deal. Done deal. Not for a 1-year contract, for a 2-year contract. So $20,000 a month plus 10%, that's $240K. Plus, by the way, the 10% would have added another $250,000 anyway. So it's at least $500,000 in year 1 and $500,000 again in year 2 because he thought differently about the sales conversation and a different number left his mouth. If I leave you guys with nothing else for 2018, please, please, please promise me that different numbers will start to leave your mouth. When you want to say 3, I want you to say 6. When you want to say 5, I want you to say 7. When you want to say 20, I want you to say 40. Whatever that is, coaching, consulting, speaking, seminars, for God's sakes, the only difference between a $3,000 speaker and a $7,000 speaker is $4,000, right? So the only difference in you getting paid $7,000 versus 3 is a different number leaves your mouth. Please have a different number leave your mouth in 2018 for everything that you do. You will start to elevate your business. You will start to accelerate the client results because you'll be attracting a whole different level of better premium client, and your bank account will start to increase dramatically. No more small potatoes, no more imposter syndrome, no more struggle, no more confusion. Let that go. It's time to stop playing small ball. And Teresa and I can help you with that. doitmarketing.com/apply is where to go to get on our calendar. Please do complete that questionnaire. We need to get that information from you so we can hit the ground running and maximize the value of your call. And we're looking forward to talking with you. Teresa, anything else by parting words of wisdom for our folks here?
No, I think you've covered it all, and again, letting a different number leave your mouth in 2018 is really the difference between the lifestyle you have now and the lifestyle you deserve and are capable of next year. So getting serious, getting smart, digging in, and getting past these myths that have been holding you back. I think at the end of the day, the mind has to change, and the words that you speak in reference to what you do has to change, and you're there.
You're there. I love it. All right, Teresa, Morgan, thank you guys. Everybody, thank you for hopping on. Thank you for staying on. I know these are marathon training sessions, but again, we're here to add maximum value. If you like what you heard and you want to reach out for that strategy call, that link is still active right now. doitmarketing.com/apply. We will see you on your call. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
guys. See you all tomorrow and Friday and today.